What is up, guys? Sorry, I've been MIA. Actually, hold on, let me turn this light on. There we go. Okay. It's been crazy. I'm moving this month, so I'm kind of like in the process of getting all of that put together. But we're going to do a collective reading today for June, and then I'll do some other readings later on this week. But I want to do collective reading, live chat for everybody. And if you want to pop in and chit chat with me while I do it, go ahead, feel free to. But let's get into it. Let's see what's going on for the collective because things have been really crazy lately. Energies have been really difficult. We've had, hello, Autumn. Hello, my dear. We've had a lot going on with Mercury is about to go direct tomorrow. It's going to be in a direct square with Saturn. So even though communication is going to get better, there is going to be some difficulties in regards to wherever Saturn's going to be at in your chart because Saturn's going to challenge you to mature in that aspect of how you interpret things, how you communicate. But then we also have had a lot of Shaman resonance going on, which is like solar flares. So if you've been really, hello, my dears, if you've been really emotional or if you've been really tired, really depleted, check that kind of stuff out because if you're sensitive to different frequencies and energies, that's going to influence you. But enough of that. Let's get into just really, really quick kind of what's going on in June. And then I'm just going to get into a collective reading for us for that upcoming month. So, June 2022. We have on the 3rd, which is tomorrow, Mercury goes direct in Taurus. On the 4th, Saturn goes retrograde in Aquarius, and that's a 4-month retrograde. So there's going to be a lot of energy around setting boundaries and really getting more connected with your social sphere and your true self. On the 13th, Mercury is going to enter Gemini, so it's going back home to its planet that it's most comfortable in because mercurial energy is Gemini Virgo energy. And then you have the full moon in Sagittarius on the 14th. So it's a really good time to have a lot of fun on the full moon. Full moons also represent endings and the culmination of something. And Sagittarius is very adventurous energy. So you might even throw like a party around this time. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with the chat. However, don't stay out too late because full moons, it's a little chaotic on full moons. Okay, so just be careful on full moon, especially at Sagittarius. It's a very risque energy. Okay, so just caution. On the 21st, we have Cancer season starting. It's also the summer solstice. 22nd, we have Venus enters Gemini. So love becomes very exciting, very sociable in this sign. It lasts there for 4 weeks. It's really good for flirting, having really intellectual affairs. And there might be the risk of being ghosted at this time if things get too boring because Gemini really likes to stay entertained. So just make sure that things are really intellectually stimulating and on a communication level, very stimulating because Gemini is mercurial energy. On the 28th, we have the new moon in Cancer. So very supportive, family-oriented energy, ideal time to start thinking about what we can do for the people we love. And that means family, community, friendships, business, coworkers, things of that nature. On the 28th, Neptune retrogrades in Pisces. It's home in Pisces, so it's going to be a powerful retrograde. Pay attention to your dream space at this time. It's going to shake up what's real and what's not. So it's going to really force you out of anything that is very fantastical energy, and it helps us separate fact from fiction. And it's not really an easy task, but it's going to pass. So it's going to be a few months of that. And that's pretty much it for the month. But let's get into this read. Try to keep that a little short. If you're part of Patreon, you know that we typically like dig into like the astrology of things when we do readings, but we're not going to do that right now because it's about tarot. So let's get into it. I am going to pull some oracle cards to clarify them, and then I'm going to do a second spread. Okay. And I want to do a collective reading because things have been really cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs lately. And I think it's really important that we focus on the collective right now, not just individual signs. So take care of yourselves, please. Okay. be a lot of creating community in the month of June. There's going to be a lot of it. It's a very social month. I feel like it's a very accident prone month as well. So just be very mindful. Accident prone, not just in the physical sense, almost like people stumbling forward because it's a very impulsive energy, it feels. So just be very cautious. Yeah, we have a rebirth as assured. It's the energy of 5. 5 is about that change. It's also this energy of initiation to me. And there's that stumbling forward. Life is speeding up. Very impulsive energy, okay? And then we have Rhino Spirit overcoming any obstacle. I flipped it the wrong way, so it should actually be upright because I flipped it like that. I shouldn't have. Overcome any obstacle. I like this a lot. This is the big shift. So in this particular month that we're in right now, wait, actually we're already in June. I'm a goofy goober. I keep thinking that we're in May. In May, things were really kind of like shaking us out of all the stagnancy, all the old ways of being. And now we're finally like, okay, things are picking up momentum. Now the change is actually happening. We've been preparing for the change, energetically shifting into it. And now it's kind of like, okay, we're purging all these things. And now it's time to get started with those new projects, to make that move, to start that new job, to move into that new home, to end that relationship, to realize, oh, this is how I really feel about that. Yeah, so then we have Vulture Spirit, nothing is wasted in reverse. This actually feels like a calming down. I literally heard calming down with this. If there was anger or resentment about how something unfolded, this actually feels like an understanding. This feels like the new perspective. This is most likely going to be coming in when Mercury goes direct. So this could be today or tomorrow. Understanding that whatever it is that you've encountered is actually bringing new states of consciousness into your awareness, right? So for a lot of people, this is most likely going to have to do with their relationships or how they perceive their relationships, because we had, hello, how are you doing? There is no free list. I'm not sure what you mean by free list. So nothing is wasted. Again, with this, a lot of people in regards to relationships, this might be them realizing that their love, for instance, this is something that we talked about on Patreon, their love, their higher heart is realizing that we need to give people the freedom to love in the way that they know how to love. That being conditional or expecting love to show up in a certain way is not allowing that person the freedom to love you how they know to love, right? Wanting that love in a certain way. And that's because Lilith was in Cancer during our last full moon that we just had. So, and that brings up that child wounding. It brings up the maternal energy, the nurturing energy, relationships, things of that nature. Okay. It's also going to bring up control, how we want to control people to love us in a certain way. Then we have know your worth and let spirit be your guide. Hawk Spirit. Okay. I really like this. So this is going to be, there's going to be a lot of collaborative energy in the month of June. There's going to be a lot of people finding their voice and really speaking up about their opinions on things. And this is going to be why there's so much change. Because as more opinions start coming to the surface, people are really going to be stepping into their freedom. And it's going to create not necessarily conflict, but a lot of space for debate. Okay. So with let spirit be your guide, this is a lot of people stepping into their most authentic selves at this time, because now we're understanding that, okay, I don't need to make myself small in order to speak on what I really want to speak on. I can actually speak on anything that I truly want in a really healthy way, because I'm doing it in a way that's authentic to me, but also that is respectful. And that's the clearing out of the clutter. We're getting rid of distortion. And that's why Neptune comes in at the end of the month, and it's separating fact from fiction, distortion and illusion from intuition and higher self. And that's why underneath it, the freedom is yours. Now we're truly shifting and integrating the parts of ourselves that we might have been like, oh my gosh, my parents don't love me, or this person treated me so poorly, when in all reality, part of you is going to realize they did the best they could with the tools they had at that point in their life. And you step into a new place of compassion, because now you're becoming more diplomatic, and now you're seeing both sides and understanding that everybody's on their own healing journey, but you're understanding it at a much deeper level, right? Okay. Big shift. Big shift. It's the higher heart. We've been talking about this for a long time. It's the higher heart opening, but in turn, it's creating a big space for authentic expression. Cool. Lots of stuff. This is also going to create, some people are going to go through a lot of anxiety during this. Some people are going to go through a lot of shutting down and pushing people away because they don't want to be vulnerable and they don't want to accept the fact that there's certain things I want to talk about that are going to be pretty button pushing for some people. That some of the chaos in their life is part of that distortion and illusion. It's attachment, right? And that's why the first card out, which is the strongest, is the rebirth. The rebirth is assured. Okay. Okay, let's get into this. Let's look at the bat spirit. Let's look at this rebirth. Now, when I pull the tarot on this, it's going to ground it more down to the 3D because we've been talking about this in a very like psychological, very like spiritual sense. This is really going to ground it down for us and show it how it plays out in the material world. Maybe. Let's look at bat spirit. For the month of June, for the collective, please. Yeah. I kept hearing they're not ready. So this might be somebody that you're dealing with. This could even be yourself. With the Six of Swords, Ace of Pentacles in reverse, and Temperance, there's this desire, right? This desire to want to move forward, to really want to progress in life. But the Ace of Pentacles in reverse and the Temperance card is the lack of wanting to accept the parts of self that need to be addressed, that need to be healed, right? I had this conversation with somebody earlier today about this attachment to the idea of black magic, right? And people are going to disagree with this, and that's totally fine. This is just my opinion. And it's ironic enough that by sharing this opinion, you're almost validating what I'm about to say. The idea of black magic, in my opinion, is somebody kind of making an excuse for not wanting to address the parts of their own psyche, subconscious, or shadow that they are failing to recognize and integrate. Because if you want to put black magic on me, I'm giving the power to you to put that on me, right? I'm giving you power. I'm giving you the ability to stop me from progressing forward, when in all reality, you have full control over your energy. Nobody else can take that power away from you, can dictate what happens in your energy if you're fully protecting your energy and you're balanced in your own energy. But there's an imbalance because you've been giving your power away. And now that is why freedom is yours, because you're clearing out the clutter, realizing, wow, I've been giving parts of myself to other people. I've been giving fear and attachment and attention to things that are not really mine. That's why it's called spell casting. It's people casting words on you, and you are attaching to said words. But if you choose to attach to my words of understanding that it's not a real thing, right? Black magic, like spell casting, it's television, right? The things that society wants to tell us, right? It's people telling their vision. It's your reality. What you want to create is what you attach to. So choose what you want to attach to, and that's what's going to manifest. It's all the same thing, right? So if you want to choose to stay attached to black magic, stay attached to it. You want to detach from it, detach from it. But it's energy. It's all energy. It's all energy. And this is representing the imbalance in that energy that's delaying the new beginning, okay? Life is speeding up. Okay. It's kind of like somebody who has fears and insecurities and all this is manifesting in different ways around them. And they're like, no, it's because somebody casted some cord on me or black magic on me, and not really wanting to take accountability that they just have things that they need to heal. And that's okay. Because sometimes we want to point the finger at other things versus looking in a mirror. But it's time to look in that mirror, clean out that clutter, and get your freedom. Okay. Life speeding up. Antelope spirit. Empress. There it is. Divine feminine, right? Because Cancer was in Lilith. It's the dark feminine, right? And dark feminine, not in the sense of like being sassy or kind of bitchy in regards to a female energy. Dark feminine is understanding the parts of your feminine energy that are distorted, the parts of you that you are not nurturing or accepting, integrating, being present in, right? The parts of you that you're rejecting. the parts of you that you do not see. Cancer, the moon, Pisces, Neptune, distorted feminine Empress energy that needs to be let go of. Okay? Letting go of it, dropping it, getting rid of it. Because what's happening, especially with Taurus as our north node, and Mercury just went direct, is going direct in Taurus tomorrow in the month of June in our north node. It's showing us that our destiny is to be and think and communicate in a divine feminine way, right? At least for the next 8 years of this current cycle that we're in, because that's how long this north-south node cycle is going to be. To nurture self, to speak kindly to self, to have compassion for self and all previous experiences that we went through, right? To understand that this person acted the way in that situation with all the tools that they had at that time, and they did the best that they knew how to do. And I have compassion for that. And I have compassion for myself because I didn't have the tools that I have now, right? Having compassion, understanding both sides, knowing that true forgiveness is allowing that anger to transmute and allowing hurt and pain and anger to actually bring you closer in a relationship than to create a divide. It's the opening of the higher heart that we're going into. Okay. Let's look at Rhino Spirit, overcoming the obstacles. So, I hope nobody else froze because mine did not freeze. Rhino Spirit, overcome any obstacle. Let me just type in the chat. Oh, it's cap locks, my bad. Let's see what's going on here. These obstacles might be the parts of your shadow or the parts of like the wounded child within you. So if you had like really, really deep wounds, like things that were abusive or traumatic, which kind of go, those are both traumatic, like abuse is trauma, might really come to your awareness right now. Like memories might come back to the surface at this time, especially with Neptune being home in Pisces. And you might really start reintegrating all of this pain and seeing it in a new light and having compassion for yourself and understanding that like, wow, I was beating myself up as a child or as a teenager or in my 20s for how I handled these things or how I felt, when really I should have had more compassion for myself at that moment in my life because I didn't have the tools. I didn't know better back then, right? That's what's going on here. Overcoming the obstacles. Seven of Cups, distortion and illusion. Page of Swords, being the student, seeing it in a new light. Three of Pentacles, rebuilding that foundation. Yep, Nine of Cups in reverse, Five of Pentacles, and the Devil. So here you are reflecting on how your fear, insecurities, pain, and hurt kept you in a state of feeling abandoned or hurt or a lack mentality, right? That kept your heart space closed. Because the Nine of Cups represents the individual's heart space. It represents personal emotional fulfillment, not fulfillment in a relationship or with somebody else. It's a Nine of Cups. It's like the Nine of Pentacles. It's somebody who's single. So it's you alone as an individual. Your own fear keeping you in this state or this feeling of lack, lost, not having everything you want, right? Abandoned, rejected, or the world's against me, victim mentality. I need to blame black magic because I don't want to take accountability for the fact there's a hurt little child inside of me that I don't want to resurface and integrate because I'm really scared to feel all those hurtful feelings again. Right? Right. It's just kind of like the reality of how the subconscious mind works. Okay. Then we get to the Three of Pentacles, the Page of Swords, and the Seven of Cups. When you get to this state, this is understanding that, okay, I have the opportunity, tons of opportunities to address the distortion, the illusion, by really starting to be the student, by seeing it with fresh eyes. Because the Page of Swords is the student. Swords are about mercurial energy, the mind, the intellect, and perception, and rebuild the foundation to work through those situations in a new way, to see them in a new way. And that's how you overcome that obstacle. Cool. Right? And then bottom of the deck, you have the Five of Cups in reverse, which is, to me, the card of mourning. You're releasing the things that no longer emotionally serve you. Beautiful. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Let's look at Vulture Spirit. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is wasted. I feel such resentment with this. I do. This is whatever situation you were really like angry with. So we have the Magician and the Ten of Swords. Yeah. This is you recognizing that whatever this pain was, there was a lot of hurt, a lot of resentment with it. And this is where you finally step into your full personal power because you're understanding like, whoa, it's actually through this hurt, through this pain and understanding and seeing it differently that I find how strong and how capable I am, that I find and reconnect with the truth of myself, with the truth of how compassionate, how deeply I can connect with other people. I can relate to other people. I can nurture and love and meet my own needs when I allow myself to unravel again, to not keep this closed, to not keep myself closed off, to not think that everybody's going to hurt or betray or deceive me in some way, right? Let's look at Skunk Spirit. Know your worth. Ace of Swords. So there's your new beginning, right? Your truth. I heard forgiveness and forging ahead. Yep, and there's the forging ahead, the Wheel of Fortune, the Knight of Wands, Sagittarius energy, 10 of Wands, closing out the cycle. I'm not going to take all these because it's a really big stack. Okay, know your worth. So now that you've embodied your personal power, right? Now you get all these beautiful cards upright. Of course you would, right? Because now you have the new cycle of your truth. And here you are becoming very ambitious, stepping into your power, being supported by the divine, leaving behind the burdens, leaving behind the heaviness, and knowing that you can overcome these obstacles. That regardless of what's transpired, now you have more tools to bring with you into the new cycle. Very nice. Let's look at Hawk Spirit. Let Spirit be your guide. For some of you, this is the shift in consciousness. I feel a lot of you are actually going to be letting go of a lot of friends at this time. And it feels specifically like friends, social groups. Like you're not interested in collaborating or working with certain people anymore. You're going to be, you have the Six of Pentacles in reverse and the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. It's like I no longer want to invest in these things or these projects. I don't want to give part of myself, my time, my energy, my material to these things that once really resonated with me or that I found stable. You're not doing it anymore. Yeah, Queen of Wands. Because this is a very like determined, regal, like sexy energy. Queen of Wands is very Leo energy to me. It's very confident in oneself. It kind of gives me the vibe of like, I don't really need you. I'm choosing you to be around. And I'm choosing not to keep you around because I'm choosing to move in a new direction. Let's look at clear out the clutter. Okay. What do we got? Four Swords. Yeah, it's a month of healing. It's a month of healing. Four Swords on the overall. This is the mental purge. It's the mental emotional purge. Understanding that whatever you've carried with you from your childhood, your teenage years, your early years, into your adult years or wherever you are at right now in your life, that's been stopping you from really connecting with yourself on a deep level or stopping you from making space for the things that you really want to call into your reality. It's giving you the opportunity to embody divine feminine energy in a very healthy way, which is receptive energy, so you can finally receive what it is that you're manifesting. Because if you've been trying to call in money or a relationship or love in any sense, you haven't been able to because the past has been holding you back. Six of Cups, which is quite literally the card of the past in tarot. Yeah, you're healing your wounds of the past. You're clearing out the clutter, the cords, or whatever label you want to slap on it that have kept you tied to the past. The memories, the wounds, the traumas, the limiting beliefs, the fears, the insecurities, all that, right? The attachment, that's quite literally what the devil is. Attachment. The attachment to the past. Bottom of the deck is the Emperor, because now it's bringing you into balance as a divine human being or spiritual being, right? You're balancing your masculine and your feminine, because we've been talking about how the collective has been sitting in so much masculine energy lately. And now you end by balancing your feminine with it. That is the challenge. And that's why our North and South node are in Earth and Water, because we're learning about stability and being present and really nurturing things. Earth, Taurus energy, right? Okay, nice. Okay, let's do a straight tarot reading and we'll see what comes out for the collective. We'll do a little lovey-dovey reading for those who want to know about their lovey-dovey stuff in June. Because we all know people want to know about their relationships, right? Everybody wants to know about their relationship. But there's like your little spiritual tidbit. The healing, the integrating of the wounded child, right? Hello, my dear. How are you? I like it. I like it a lot. Let's put that there. Let's do this one. I actually booked a love reading because it's been so long I'm getting the love itch. Yeah. I feel like a lot of people are kind of like, I'm interested in love, but I kind of want to know about myself a little bit more lately too. And I'm digging that too. I'm really digging that because I feel like the collective is really hung up on love for like the last year, myself included. Like it comes in phases, but then we're going to get like, we need to get back to that point of like, okay, it's time to be your own boss. It's time to be your own boss. You know? Let's see what's going on in regards to love and romance for the month of June for the collective. I heard freedom of choice. There's gonna be some power struggles. There's gonna be some power struggles. Woo! Yeah. Knight of Swords, Queen of Swords, Two of Swords, Three of Swords, Page of Swords. Power struggles, Mercury energy, swords. Everybody just wants to be a little. Hot damn. Got a little sassy up in here real quick. Everybody wanted to be sassy in the month of June. Yeah, they did. We'll get two more. Okay. A little bit more than two. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. If you end up going through a split, it's going to get back together at the end of the month. So let's just cut to it and give everybody some peace of mind about that. Okay. If you end up feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose them, it's going to be fine. Just take a breather. It's just people being little children, integrating their little child, and then realizing, oh, I'm throwing a tantrum. I have some distortion about how I view love and expect love to show up. And then they go through healing it. And you're probably going to mirror this in your relationship this month. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yay. So let's get into it. Let's see what's going on in regards to love and romance for my hottie patati collectives. Is that even like a thing? Like collectives, I guess. Whatever. We're going to make it a thing. You want to know why? Because we can do that. We can do that. Because we can create anything we want. Okay, I'm being a little much. I need to calm down. You know what? I'm really torn. What do I want to clarify with? Yeah, let's do it. Which one? Yeah, let's do this one. We're going to use Sacred Bee. This is going to get like a little intense with this one because this is like a higher consciousness deck to me as a reader. That's going to be interesting. So we're going to see like the real, yeah, Angela, you're with me. She already said it. She said blue. Yeah. Okay. She said, look at me being intuitive. Okay, this row has to go. We'll get to that. This is later on. Let's start with the sassiness. This is like the first 2 weeks of the month. Everybody wants to be kind of like, rawr. I want it my way. Oh, well, you want it your way. What is a compromise? That's not in my vocabulary. Okay, so the Queen of Swords actually feels very intuitive. They actually see the reality of the situation. They're dealing with somebody who doesn't. It's not that they don't see the reality. They are very, very stubborn. They don't like to budge when it comes to situations. This is the power struggle that's transpiring right now. There is the opportunity to overcome the pain that is within each of them as an individual. This isn't the pain within the relationship. If it is perceived as pain in the relationship, it's actually because it's within each of them and they're mirroring it back and forth. So it's kind of like, If you've been rejected in your past, they've been rejected in their past, you feel that you're rejecting each other, but you're really not rejecting each other at all. You want to hug each other, love each other endlessly, and you're both just projecting your fear of rejection onto one another and then thinking that you're being rejected, but you're really not. You're both actually withdrawing because your fear is making you withdraw because you're fearing rejection. Let's look at this Queen of Swords. Love, Two of Cups. Yeah, they see the truth of it. They know this is a very divine connection. They do. Very, very divine connection. They're very intuitive, this one. I like this. They're like, I don't have patience for this. They just don't. And so they might be very blunt or very cutting at this time with the other individual. I feel like this is very cyclic between them. Yeah, Queen of Wands, the Tower, and the Five of Wands. Here comes the fight. They're like, listen, buddy boy, I'm ready for my Ace of Wands. I want a new cycle. I don't want to keep doing this nonsense, this pettiness. You either step up your game, be your own boss. Queen of Wands, very determined. Like, I chose you. I don't need you. I chose you. I don't need you. Queen of Swords, Queen of Wands, very powerful, very cutting, master manifester, very independent energy. With the Tower there and the Five of Wands, they got no problem speaking on what they want to speak on. And the Tower is, it's not that they want to fight, but they are not going to be walked all over. So if this person is typically very timid, very nurturing, or very receptive, they are more so putting their foot or their wand down at this time and saying no more. So they found their voice. Okay, let's look at the Two of Swords here. I want to look at the two and let's look at the, yeah, I'm really drawn to this three, to be honest with you. This Queen's already gone through, okay, so they're at two different levels. That's what it is. The Queen's already made the choice to do their healing. And now this person is on their journey of it. It's kind of like they were doing their healing together. The Queen's like, okay, I finished my test. Like if you're both sitting down in the classroom taking a test, like the Queen's like, hey, teacher, finished, right? This person's still on like the last 2 pages of it. That's what's going on here. And so because of that, though, they understand the dynamic. They see it differently now. Yeah, Ace of Pentacles. They finished their test. They're ready for the next cycle. They're ready for the next chapter. They have all new cyclic energy around them because now they've elevated their consciousness. And it's not that they don't want it with this person. They do. It's just that, yeah, judgment, the soul's call. They're like, okay, like, let's move forward. This is also Pluto Scorpio energy, which tells me that they've gone through the massive transformation. They've integrated a lot. And beneath that is the High Priestess in reverse, which means that they see it very, very clearly. I love this. This is really nice. So let's look at this person. Page of Swords, and I just, I don't mean for this to sound bad, but they spew a lot of bullshit and they think it's true, but it's kind of bullshit. It's kind of bullshit, right? It's distorted. It's distorted. It's the projection. It's the projection. Because that's why it's a Page of Swords. It's the wounded child. Pages are children in reverse, right? It's a lie. They think it's true, but it's a lie. And it's actually rooted in their impulsive behavior. I'm saying it because I think it's true, but I'm not really processing it or thinking about the situation. It's a very knee-jerk reaction response. Childlike. What do we got? King of Cups in reverse. And Mastery, the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. They're still working on mastering their emotional state. They're working on their emotional maturity is quite literally what's going on here. Allowing themselves to love and nurture themselves, to see the situation and be like, okay, well, it's kind of like what I said in the first reading. They're going to get to the point where they look back on the situation and they realize, wow, at that point in time, I didn't have the tools that I had now. And I could have handled that differently. And it would have allowed me to see the situation differently and in turn had a healthier and better outcome. Right? King of Cups in reverse. Because it's really not that they're angry at the person. This is like a lack of love and a lack of ability to love and invest in self. Eight of Pentacles in reverse is the CEO energy in reverse, right? They're not building or investing, because King, masculine energy, putting in the work to love self. And so for them to put in this work to communicate and articulate what they really feel to somebody else is hard, because they don't even know how to do that to themselves, to really express, like, how do I really feel right now? I'm feeling anger, but anger is a secondary emotion, really rooted in disappointment, embarrassment, pain, hurt, betrayal. So which one of those hundreds of feelings are you actually experiencing but expressing as anger? They don't know, because they've never sat long enough to really explore it. Okay. Next row of cards. So that's them feeling poopy. Right? Let's look at the Two of Cups in reverse. You have the Two of Cups next to the Four of Cups, and I laugh because it's kind of like, this feels like that Night King energy shutting down, like, I don't want this anymore, but I do want it. Are you going to offer me that cup? Because, like, I really want it, because the 4 minus the 2 gives you a 2 of Cups upright. They want it. They're going to act like they don't want it, but they want it. I want you to chase me because I want to feel wanted, because I don't know how to make myself feel wanted, because I don't know how to love myself fully. So can you make me feel loved, because I don't know how to give that to myself? And the Queen's going to be like, nope, I can't give that to you, because you're going through the lesson of having to learn to give that to yourself. So we're just going to sit and wait, because I can lead the horse to water, but I can't force you to drink. So it's kind of understanding that as much as we may expect other people to love us a certain way, just because we expect it doesn't mean we're always going to get it. Sometimes we need to give ourselves that love that we are expecting from another, right? Because I can express my love language to my person 100 times. And me and him have actually talked about this. Like, I love like a bunch of hugs, a bunch of kisses. Like, I love like physical affection like that. And they're very like, I like my personal space. And so sometimes they're like, I don't want to. And like in the beginning, I'd get really poopy and be like, oh, my heart hurts. Like, I feel rejected. And then eventually I get like, actually, no, I'm good. Like, it's cool. It's cool. It's fine. Like, I get it. Like, you want to be alone right now. You want your space. Like, you're not rejecting me. I just got to understand that, like, we move differently, and not all the time am I going to get a yes. And that's okay. That's okay. Don't mean they don't love you. Don't mean that they don't want to hug you and kiss you ever again in your life. Just right now, they might want a little space. That's okay. 2 of Cups, 4 of Cups. Because then it goes to the 8 of Cups. That's funny. Yeah, King of Pentacles in reverse, and then you have the Sun, and then you have the Hierophant in reverse. Oy vey. They're going to come to the realization that they're sitting in a lot of distorted masculine energy, right? That they're sitting in an energy of wanting, I'm not taking any questions right now because we're doing a collective reading. The King of Pentacles in reverse and the Hierophant in reverse. The King of Pentacles is the distorted masculine. It's a masculine energy that doesn't feel confident to be able to provide, to be able to give all that they want, right? Or all that they, not all that they want, but all that they believe that they should be giving, right? It's a lack of faith in oneself, really. And with the Hierophant in reverse, this kind of feels like the bad guru, like they've had the influence of like a bad teacher in their life or a bad example in their life, or they've had bad experiences. And that's what they're going to come to realize, right? That the experiences that they've had, the lessons that they've had, the things that they've seen have imprinted their masculine energy to make them believe, right? Because the Sun is illumination, that they cannot give this love to themselves, or they're not capable or worthy of this love in their life, right? But that's not true. And that's what they're going to see. They're going to come to this realization of like, I can have this, and I am deserving of this, and I can have happiness and love and success and abundance, right? So 8 of Cups, let's see what this is about. Temperance. They're going to walk away, right? Walk away from the emotions that no longer serve them and go through the alchemy, the integration of all of that pain. Temperance, right? Which is the sunflower, which I love because that is a very enlightening energy in and of itself. So there they go, into their healing. And then the world in reverse. The world is in reverse because the relationship's not done. It's just taking a new form, which is why the cycle's not closed out. Upright, it would be closed out for me as a reader. In reverse, it is just we're closing this portion of this cycle, but this relationship as a whole is not complete, right? Like it's not done. Let's look at the world. So then we have the lovers in reverse and the world in reverse, right? So the world in reverse, right? This relationship is not done because the relationship itself is still working through the end of a cycle together, which is both of you going through this healing process. Okay, and the world in reverse on top of the world in reverse is just validation for me as a reader that the channel message is correct. The lovers in reverse is also, lovers are never touching in tarot. So this signifies to me that this person is letting go of that idea that they always have to keep distance between them and the other person, or stay like emotionally distant, or they are not safe to be vulnerable. They're getting rid of that idea. Let's look at the Three of Cups and the overall. Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, so this foundation is going to come back together. It's going to get rebuilt. It's going to eventually move towards the Ten of Pentacles, but it's going to take some time. The Ten of Pentacles feels very heavy here. It feels, yeah, Ace of Swords, and then we have the Page of Pentacles in reverse. There's not a clarity on how to build this Ten of Pentacles between these two people yet. They have very different expectations, there's that damn word again, on what a Ten of Pentacles is. This needs to be discussed. How do you perceive your Ten of Pentacles? Your commitments, not your relationship. How do you perceive your finances, your work, your daily routine, your family, your home, the structure in your home? Do you like a clean home? Do you like a clean bedroom? Do you care if there's messiness? Do you like to clean all the time? Do you like to meal prep? Do you not like to meal prep? Do you like to wake up early? Do you like to go to sleep late? Like, what is your routine? Because the Ten of Pentacles is not just about commitments and long-term contracts. It's also about the physical body, your health, your relationships. It's about things that last the test of time and help you move throughout the day in a very stable, structured way. It's kind of like a Saturn energy, the things that create maturity, stability, and longevity in your life. And one person is still learning how to create that. And it feels like the other person is in the process of already learning that, but both people need to go through this together. And that's what the Ace of Swords is here for. It's like you're both learning swords, right? Learning, study, education, the mind, intellect, how to get into this energy of building a Ten of Pentacles together. There needs to be communication though. Bottom of the deck is the Three of Wands, because a lot of new opportunities, a lot of new paths are going to start opening up, but the communication is really what's going to help both of you decide what's best for the dynamic for both of you. It's going to have to be compromised because the expectations are different. And having expectations, like if I expect this and you expect that, this and that are not the same. But if we both expect an in-between is a good middle path. There's three wands, right? This, that, in between. Okay, pick the in between. Okay. Let's look at the Seven of Pentacles in the overall. I feel like this is what's being dropped. Like this is what you tried to invest in and it wasn't working and it had to be let go of. I kind of feel a Four of Wands coming out, to be honest with you. We have the Two of Wands in reverse, the Ace of Cups, and then we have the Three of Swords. Okay, really nice. Bottom of the deck is the Seven of Cups. So on the Seven of Pentacles, it's realizing that whatever path you were walking was actually creating a lot of pain or mirroring the pain that you had experienced in the past. And so now it's choosing to step into a new beginning, the Ace of Cups. You literally have all the aces out. So this relationship stepping into a brand new cycle together, which is amazing. And if you don't have somebody, you're stepping into a new way of perceiving relationships, which is going to call in a new relationship for yourself. And bottom of the deck is the Seven of Cups. A lot of this has to do with the distortion, the need for control, the expectations we have of other people, how we perceive our own pain, and how we carry that into our relationships and mirror it in our relationships, right? And how it needs to be cleared out. Okay. But let's clean this up and I will pull a final oracle card for the collective for the month of June. And then I'll have to hop off here because I got some other readings to do. And I got a Patreon live to do tonight to get ready for. Any final advice for the collective for the month of June? This is the Shaman's Dream Oracle, and that was the Sacred Bee that I just used. And oh, I love that. Really nice. So you got Fortune's Wheel, Luck and Right Timing, and Woodwives, Adaptability. Really nice. 2 great cards. The Woodwives dance into your dreams as a reminder to be grounded no matter what life offers you. You need to know who you are, what you'll tolerate, what you've learned to date, and what boundaries to set so you feel good about yourself. Life is going to offer you something extraordinary now, and in order to learn and receive its blessings, you must remember that being grounded gives you more freedom, not less. You have everything you need. You have all it takes to do this right now. If you also keep reminding yourself to be flexible, you'll be amazed by how well things play out for you. The Woodwives are both wisdom keepers and students for the new world, as these forest spirits have an uncanny ability to adapt to changing circumstances and always find the perfect way to grow and expand. They represent what you already know how to do. Learn, be in a beginner's mind. Let go of your rigid notions of how things should be and be present to what is right now, unencumbered by your projections. Is there a storm brewing because things need to change? No worries, nothing can uproot you now, and it will pass, and you will dance with nature and move with it all. Perhaps you're being given an opportunity to take a chance on something new, and you're not sure how far you can go without losing your footing. Have no fear, for when you remember your roots, your integrity, your authentic self, you can stretch yourself beyond the invisible line you drew. Go for it. You'll be so glad you did. Lex! Yeah, you caught me right when I was finishing. Right at the end, I'm about to read the last card. Fortune's Wheel. The Fortune's Wheel is a sign that luck has found the right timing in your life. You have the magic touch, and everything turns to gold. There is nothing you can do wrong. You only need to hold what you desire as your intention, and it becomes true. Do not waste this power on trifling things. Dream big, for surely this opportune moment will pass. Such is the nature of Fortune's Wheel. Use the creative power of the Fortune's Wheel for the benefit of others, and the gifts will be returned to you tenfold. Use it only for your own gain, and you will be left impoverished with the bitter taste of squandered opportunity. Fortune's Wheel comes unannounced. Notice the early signs, the coincidental encounters, and the seemingly magical and synchronistic events that herald its arrival. That call, that email, that invitation, that chance encounter was no accident. They're all choreographed by fortune. Don't wait any longer. Carpe diem. Recall the boldest and noblest longing and invite it into your life. The invitation is all that's required. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. If you guys want a personal reading or a Reiki session, or you want spiritual life coaching, or you want to be certified in Reiki, go ahead and check out my website. And if you want to join Patreon to be part of our meditations, like we have one tonight, we do a lot of energy work on there. Go ahead, check that out. That's also where I'm going to be posting some monthly readings. And I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed this collective reading for the month. And I will see you later on. Later, Gators.